Okay, Kathy, I see here again one of those really very impressive eggs that the Faberge family has produced. I think it's called Samson egg. Is this correct?
That is correct, and actually it does repeat the biblical story of Samson taking on the lion, and it is a beloved fountain at the Peterhof Palace in Russia, where the Romanovs used to summer. And so the Peterhof Palace has this major fountain that has this fabulous sculpture of Samson and the lion. And that's been recreated here by Theo Faberge, and it is a piece where some of the money from the sale of these are going to restore the Peterhof Palace there in Russia, outside of St. Petersburg.
We discussed a little bit earlier also some of those auction records that have been reached for Faberge eggs from the Faberge family. Can you tell me a little bit about that and share that with our collectors worldwide?
Well, absolutely. These pieces that we're looking at today in the gallery are contemporary designs, and they are original art pieces that have been designed and overseen by Theo and Sarah Faberge. They were the only Faberge descendants working in these fine materials and carrying on that family tradition today. So each piece is signed by the artist, and if it is a limited edition, will be numbered. For historic Faberge, for pieces that have been made in the period from 1885 to 1916, the new record went for the Duchess of Marlborough clock, I believe, for over $18 million, and that is a single piece. The Forbes collection that had been in the United States that featured 9 imperial eggs and many other Faberge items went and was purchased by a man called Victor Vekselberg, a Russian oil executive, and those pieces were taken back to their home in St. Petersburg, and he's restoring a palace to display them there. And for that collection he paid over $120 million a few years ago. So there are astounding prices for the historical pieces, but what's wonderful about the work of the Faberge family, of Theo and Sarah, is they're carrying on the works of their grandfather and great-grandfather and using the techniques that he did and keeping that alive today.
It's like the great-grandfather actually never had that significance that Carl Faberge had. People just simply don't know that, and I think that the fact that we are really talking here about the Faberge family continuing in the same fashion with the same exclusivity provides really for collectors a tremendous opportunity that collectors had in 1880 or 1890 as well.
Absolutely.
And that's how we have to see that. When we're talking about $19 million, when we're talking here about $100 million, we're talking here about amounts accumulated through time. And I think pretty much that's the essential part of it, correct?
Well, the thing is, these pieces where we will make 6 pieces, a dozen pieces, 25, 30 pieces, that is it worldwide. It is limited production when the edition is fulfilled, or if it happens to be a one-of-a-kind piece, when it's completed. No others are made. Yes, they become more affordable that way because they are not single pieces, but they still have their own certificates of authenticity. They're still signed, they're numbered, and
you have all the precious metals and all the precious stones and all of those things that actually made the Faberge eggs so famous.
Exactly. For example, both of these pieces, the Dragon's Passion has a ruby accent, and the hot enamel guilloche enameling on that piece, and it does come with 11 wearable egg pendants, so not only can you enjoy it as a piece of art, but you can also wear it. This piece, the Samson, we have these malachite columns. Again, if you were to go into the city of St. Petersburg, malachite is used in the Peter and Paul Fortress Cathedral for part of the architectural elements. So it's very indicative of that home of the Faberge, St. Petersburg. And as I mentioned before, the city does consider them well-loved citizens.
Collecting is just simply a beautiful thing, and one collects stamps, one collects Faberge eggs, and one collects Rodin sculptures. I think altogether, I feel that making money means enjoying it as well. And I think if you're privileged enough to be able to afford those kind of pieces, it will definitely provide an enjoyment that is not found in many other things.
Well,
and I'm very happy that actually the family continued the tradition of
Absolutely. If I
Faberge.
may interject, in owning this egg or the Dragon's Passion, you're actually participating in part of history. This history began in the time of Louis XIV, the Sun King in France, when the family started its escape from religious persecution. And they can trace their roots back to that beginning in the 1400s in France. So this is a story that's been going on now for, I guess, close to 700 years. And in owning a Faberge egg by Theo Faberge or Sarah Faberge, you are continuing and actually participating in this long history and fabled history of this famous family.
And you're adding depth into your life because all of those items represent depth, represent quality that is lasting. And I always say that if mankind is able to create eternal beauty, who can question that God can create eternal life? And I think that's really the answer of art. I think it is really inspired by achieving God's genius and God's creativity in our own form. And we're very happy to actually share those beautiful exemplars of art with our collectors. And I hope that soon this one will have a new home.
Absolutely. It already does for Easter. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Kathy.